And I guess we are live now. I hope I'm audible. Okay, so we are live. Let me just check if the sound, if it's all right or not. Okay, so sound is good. Let's just start the session today. We have done arrays, and yesterday we have done arrays, and now we will be moved to functions. And also I am planning that we will be doing today, we will be doing functions plus structures. So 2 units that we are I guess we are covering today. Just wait a second. So let's just start the topic for today, and let me just open the compiler, my terminal, Linux terminal. Okay, so let's start with our topic for the today. Just adjust it. Okay, fine. So we have covered arrays yesterday, and today we will be covering functions and structures both. So we will be a little bit pace up because we want to cover this C programming as soon as possible. Mm, camera is fine, sound is fine, so let's just start the topic. Okay, let me just redirect to my working folder of C programs. Everything working fine. Yes. Okay, control. Okay, so working with functions are unit 8, and behind, let's just start. So behind all well-written programs in C programming languages lies the same fundamental element, the function. So I think so function is why we are using function in C programming, so we can be writing well-written programs, well-defined programs. So you have used functions in every program that you have encountered so far. So the printf, scanf routines are examples of functions. So these are already defined in C programming. Indeed, each and every program also used a function called main that we just specify at the beginning of the program. So we will now see the structure of the C programming, how it works. So you might ask, what is all this about? So the truth is about program. So the truth is that the program function provides the mechanism for producing programs that are easy to write, read, understand, debug, modify, maintain, obviously. Okay, so when we are working with our development and some, so when we want to write big lines of codes around 1000 and defining, and we are defining each and every function differently, so definition is different and purpose of programs are different. In each program, purpose of the section, a particular function is different. So let's just see how to define a function. So first you understand what a function is, and when you can proceed to find out how it can be most effectively used in the development of programs. Everything working fine or not? Okay, so what a function is, and then you can proceed to find out how it can be most effectively used in the development of programs. So go back to the very first program that you wrote, program 3.1, which when displayed the phrase programming is fun. So if you have seen in the first stream, we have seen that how this program, how we print a simple statement. So in the first program 3.1, we have printed a statement, programming is fun. Am I able to see in the camera? Yes, pretty good. So we have seen that how we have printed a simple statement, programming is fun, but at that time we are not familiar with what is included stri.h and int main void return 0, what are all this fuss. So we have already studied what is this is the header file in the C programming, which contains the working of the printf and scanf routines. So here's a function called print message that does the same thing. So void print message void. So printf programming is fun. So instead of this, you can write like this also. So are the page continuous? Just wait a second. 121. Okay, the pages are continuous. Okay. So where we were. So the difference between print message and the function main from program 3.1 is in the first and the last line. So the first line of a function definition tells the compiler in order from left to right. Okay. So who can call it? Discuss in the chapter 15, working with large programs. So in the chapter 15, when we working with large programs, we can see how the function is called when we want to use it again and again. So when we define a function, we write something inside a function, so we have given a definition, and how we can use it later in the program we will see in chapter 15. So the type of value it returns, its name, the argument it takes. So these are all the four things about the function. So definition, what's the basic definition? So the definition of function are dependent on these four terms. So the first line of the print message function definition tells the compiler that the function returns no value. So the first use of the keyword void. So in return, it is asking for no value, but when we use int main void, we return a message 0. So int is used in order to, so it seeks for a validation that you have to specify something at the end. So when we are using void, it doesn't need anything. So it is mentioned here that the first use of keyword is void, its name is print message, and that it takes no argument. So argument is same in both the scenarios, void and void. So obviously choosing a meaningful function name is just a importance as choosing meaningful variable names. So what's the key significance of choosing a right name? So when we want to, when we are working with larger codes, we want to document everything. So in order to debug something or find, we have to patch something or make some kind of so there can exist a error in some kind of function, so we can directly jump on that function if we have specified the name. So recall from the discussion program 3.1 that main is specifically keyword recognized name in the C system. Okay, that always indicates where the program is to begin execution. So main. Why we have used int main? So it just marked the beginning of the program. So always have a main. So you can add a main function to the preceding code to end up with a complete program as shown below. So what we have done here, we have included a header file. Let's just create this one, micro func.c. So we'll be including a header file here, paste selection. Okay, so have included our header file. Now we will creating a function. We are passing void print. So we are not seeking anything at the last, so that is why we are passing void. So print message msg and void. Okay, so this marks the beginning of a program, and let me just print a simple statement. We are streaming. Yeah, we are live. So after that, uh, let's give it a new line character in order to print something new, and the program is completed. Now what we need, what we can do, if somehow we want this function to be called later, what we can do, we can define a main program, int main, pass the void argument, and it marks the beginning of a main program. So we can call the program print msg and passing the blank argument. So it's simple print function, so we don't need any argument in print message. So I think it works. So since we have used return int, so we will be returning the system straight to 0. And okay, done. So control s q, let's just compile this func first. Func dots, okay, func dot c, writing the output to func, hit enter. So program is compiled. Let's just run this program. So okay, so it's printed. So what we have done, we have created a, you can say this is our main program, that is int main void. This is our main program. So I have already told that main is marked as the beginning of the program. So we have created another function inside this program, and we have called it later on in our main program. So that is how it works. So program 8.1 consists of two functions, print message and main. Program execution always begin with main inside the function's statement. So statement appears. This statement indicates that a function print message is to be executed. The open and close parentheses are used to tell the compiler that print message is a function, and no argument values are to be passed in the function, which is consistent with the way function is defined in the program. So I've told you the similar thing that we have seen. Let me just open the program, that we have passed a blank argument. We have written not written anything inside it. uh, so this is also can be known as, this also can be said as calling a function. We have called the function, we have defined a function print message, and we have called the function into a main program. So because print message does not return a value, no value is specified with the return. So this statement is optional because reaching the end of a function without executing a return has the effect of exiting a function anyway without returning a value. So in other words, either with or without the return statement, the behavior and exit from the is identical. Okay, if you write return 0 or you don't write return 0, the behavior will be same. So as mentioned previously, the idea of calling a function is not new. So the printf, scanf routines are both from program functions. So what's the syntax of writing a print function? It's like you can see here. It's printf, and inside the bracket we have mentioned so what we have to print. So this is a way of defining a function. Similarly, we have done here. So let's see. Now try to predict the output from the program 8.2 calling the function. So we have defined a function void print message. Not so in return it will not get anything because it's a void function. So printf programming is fun. So starting from the, now we have initiated our main program int main void, and we have called the function twice, return the system state to 0. So two times it will be printed, two times I guess. Let's just see the output. Okay, so it's printed two times because we have called the function two times. So execution of the preceding program starts the main. Okay, it's pretty basic. So as the final example of print message function, try to predict the output from the 8.3 more on calling function. Let's see how it works. So this time what we have done, instead of directly calling the function, okay, we have defined a variable int I, and we have run a for loop here for I is equals to 0, and we will be running it till uh, when it equals to 10, so 10 times, and or you can say it's greater than 10 because it will be run 10 times, 0 to 10. So we are iterating the loop, and inside the for loop what we will be doing, let's just mark the beginning of the program, beginning of the loop, sorry, and we will be calling the function print msg inside a loop. So what it will be doing, it will be printing the output 10 times. Let's just see how it works. Everything is fine, control is okay. Let's just compile this function, try to run this. C. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So we have called the function 10 times, and so we have defined already that the function will be printing we are live, so it has printed the this thing 10 times. I hope it's pretty clear. So programming is fun. Arguments are local variables. So now we will be seeing what are arguments. So since we are leaving the arguments blank in this case, so let's see what are arguments and variables, how they work in function. Okay, so when the printf function is called, you always apply one or more variables to the function, the first value being the format string and the remaining value being the specific program result to be displayed. So these values called arguments greatly increase the usefulness, flexibility of a function. Unlike your print message routine, which displays the same message each time, it is called the printf function displays the whatever you will be telling it to do to display. So you can define a function or accepts that accepts argument. Okay, so in chapter 5 programming looping, you have developed an assortment of programs for calculating triangular numbers. Here you define a function to generate a triangular number called appropriately enough calculate triangular number. So we'll be taking a smaller variable because it's a quite large variable. So as an argument to the function, although I suggest you should have write this function name in detail so that if you are reviewing your code, you will be familiar with what you are doing. So this function then calculates the desired number and displays the result at the terminal. So let's just do this. Although we have done it earlier, but we'll be doing it again. So this time they have not passed a void argument, they have given an argument n. So I think we can mention so how many numbers we want triangular number to be printed. So till this, you already know what's a triangular number. We have already done that program. So let's just copy it here, paste clipboard. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Clear. So let's create a program here, micro func2.c. Okay, so we will be copying it here. So now we have to define how the working of this program will take place. So we will be doing the same thing we have done previously, taking a variable I, so and a triangular number. So we want the iteration to be done in the triangular number, so it will be taken as tn, and we will be set that to 0 initially because we have to calculate the sum. And what we will be doing now, we will be printing a loop starting from 0. It will be going till n. Okay, greater than is equals to n, and iterating the places one by one. Okay, so now start the loop. So what we'll be doing now, we are adding this in the tn, so plus is equals to I. Okay, so it's saved here. So now what we will be doing, after completing the for loop, we will be printing that printf uh, triangular number uh, percentile. So percentile. Okay, so we have to use a format specifier percentile. So first percentile is will be the number that we'll be providing, or we can take the input. So firstly, we are itself providing in the program. So first number will be that it will be replaced by n, and the second number will be uh, the sum till the triangular number. So what we will be doing, first variable is will be the n, second variable will be tn. Let's just end this, and we have end the program. So now what we will be doing, since we have given an argument int n, so when we are calling the main function int main, it will be void. But when we are calling the function, we need to pass an argument, because we have mentioned that it will need an argument to run, and the argument will be integer, and this value will be saved to n. So what we will be doing now, inside it we will be taking this calculate triangular number, copy selection, paste clipboard. Okay, so it has copied all the thing. So we have calling the program. So firstly we'll be giving a blank argument. Let's try to give it a blank argument. Hmm, Paste clipboard. Why it is pasting the same thing again and again? Paste selection, not working. Paste selection. Okay, copy paste is not working, I guess. Nice, pretty good. I think we can do just this. Okay, so can I just take it from here? Paste selection. Okay, so it's done. So firstly we will be taking a blank argument, then again, wow, nice. We will be taking an argument with integer number 10, then we will be taking an argument with integer number 20, 20. I think the program is done. So we will be returning the system state to 0. It's done. Okay, so we need to mention the semicolon also, and returning the system state to 0. Closing the, so this program is started here, closed here. Okay, okay, this is for the for loop. Why this is here? Okay, this is like this, then end main void. Okay, it will be working now. Let's compile this to hit enter. So there's an error with the calculate triangular number. Okay, so since it needs, what I need to show you that, so since it we have said that this function will need an argument to run, but since we have passed a blank argument, it will show you error. So what we will be doing, so we want the output to be blank, we'll be passing 0 instead. Can 0 work here? If you pass 0, control SQ, try to compile it now. It's compiled, it should be working now. So triangular number 0 is 0, triangular number 10 is 55, triangular number 20 is 210. So I have not done, I think not mentioned the new line character, that is why it's working like that. So the answer is good, right, I guess. 10 is for 55, 10 is for 20. Okay, it's working. Okay, let's just start the next topic, function prototype declaration. So the function calculate triangular number requires a bit of explanation. The first line of the function, this is called the function prototype declaration. It simply cannot be said as function declaration because we have given a prototype or an argument, we can say. So it is a function that returns no value, the keyword void, and takes a single argument called n, which is an integer. Okay, so it is not returning any value since it is a void function, but it it is asking for a parameter, n, which is an integer. So it says, so can be valid name formed by observing the rules outlined. Okay, so after the formal parameter named has been defined, it can be used to refer to the argument where inside the body of the function. So the beginning of the function's definition is indicated by the openly curly braces. Because you want to calculate the nth triangular number, you have to set up a variable to store the value of a triangular number as it is being calculated. You also need a variable to act as a loop index. Okay, so it's pretty basic. Automatic local variable. So variables defined inside a function are known as automatic. Okay, variable defined inside a function. In this case, the automatic variable can be n, because they are automatically calculated each time, created each time when the function is called. Because their values are local to the function, the value of the local variable can only be accessed by the function in which the variable is defined. So its value cannot be accessed by any other function. So if an initial value is given to a variable inside a function, the that initial value is assigned to the variable each time the function is called. Okay, so when defining a local variable inside a function, it is more precise in C to use the keyword auto before the definition of a variable. An example of this is as follow. So okay, so when you need to uh, use it again, you can just define it as auto int I, because C compiler assume by default that any variable defined inside a function is an automatically local variable, but the keyword auto is seldom used. For this reason, it is not used in the book. Okay, so they have not used, although it is automatically acting as a local variable, but you can use if you want. So returning to the program example, after the local variable have been defined, the function calculates the triangular number and displays the result. We have seen this, it's pretty basic, no need to pay much attention to it. So next program is we have is GCD, greatest common divisor, and I think I have made a program, so let's change it to GCD. Let's create a program micro GCD by use of function dot C. So let's create a program. Okay, till now here it is same. Paste the clipboard. Okay, so we are not expecting any value in return. Defined a variable, defined a function GCD and passed two arguments u and v. So now we will write the function of this definition. So since by the the we have done GCD before, so we will directly writing the main concept of the or the main program that is used to calculate GCD. So printf, I can take this from here directly because we have already seen this program. We just need to see the working of the program. So till here we have done in the past lectures. So int temp, okay, beginning of the program, int temp, we have defined the program and we have taken a loop here. Let's just do one thing. Let's, because we need to print the value of the GCD, so we will be taking printfu. For if you don't know the concept of how GCD is working, you can refer to the past streams. %I, format specifier, nice, and what we will be mentioning the variable u. So let's just do one thing. Let's pass it in a new line, and done with this, I guess. So program is completed here. Okay, it's time to call the function. So we will be calling the function, creating a main program, int main, passing the word argument. Okay, starting the program. Now we'll be calling the program. So for that, we need to do GCD. We need two numbers. So for that, we need a greatest common divisor. So let's take two number, 12, comma 4, 4. Okay, so the sort is defined. Let's take only two numbers. Let's take another example, GCD, because if the value of v is 0, u is printed directly. And if the value of v is not 0, this will be implemented. So let's take 1 2 3 comma 0, 16 comma 15. Okay, enough examples, I guess. and we will be returning it to 0, return 0. Okay, so program is completed. Control SQ. Let's compile this. GCD func.c, writing the output to GCD. Let's take func. Okay, so GCD func. Okay, pretty good. No errors, so it should be running now. Okay, so let's hit enter. So GCD of 12 and 4 will be 4 because 4 is the greatest common divisor. So GCD of 1, 2, 3 and 0 will be 123, and 16 and 15, the greatest common divisor which can divide both the terms, will be 1. So it's working fine, I guess. Are there any hello brother Sahil Kamate? Hello brother. Is my sound all right? Okay, so sorry for seeing your message so late. uh, we have done this. No need to read this because it's pretty basic. Let's see how many programs they have created. So we can directly jump to the programs, creation of programs, find the greatest common divisor and returning the result. Okay, no problem. So we are doing the same thing, I guess. Result is equals to GCD. Your CPU has which processor? Do you think it? Do you think it has a PC or something? It's a normal laptop, yeah. Ryzen R3, Ryzen 3, AMD Ryzen 3, pretty basic processor, not that much good. And this laptop that I am using for streaming is around 2019, 18, 7 years old. 7 years old laptop, only 7 years old. Has I guess it has AMD Ryzen 3. Okay. So what's the difference between this and this? We are doing the same thing now. Okay, so we are printing it. uh why you need to? Okay, so we just need doing the returning the function result, so that is why. Oh, doing it in a bit fancy way. Hello goated GK. Hello brother, welcome to the stream. Let's just see a program. So what we are doing, we are just storing this it in a result and just printing the result out. We are not directly printing here. No problem. It gives good performance even after 7 years. That impressive. It depends on the person that is using. Okay, so when I was in when I was using Windows 10 or 11, I guess it just stucks very much. Heat problem and much thing. But then I've shifted to Kali Linux as my main operating system. I have corrupted the system many times. I have even corrupted the BIOS. So then I've restored the BIOS to a net BIOS and then installed an operating system Kali Linux from external pen drive. Linux obvious, goated operating system. The speed is pretty much impressive. But when we are when I am doing a little bit of penetration testing and when I am running more tools such as John the Ripper, when I run John the Ripper for or Hashcat or Netcat for cracking the passwords, so the system will not work. I will grub, yes. So I use another system. So I have 3 laptops. So this is a basic laptop. At my left होगा ना? Okay, so for you it is left or right. Where I am seeing there is another laptop in which my stream is also playing, and I can uh, the notes I have prepared. So mark the timeline that I have to complete this much of thing in this time number, and I can read the comments also. So it's a MacBook Pro M4 at my left. Okay. So no need to do this program, because simply what they are doing, instead of printing the result or defining the print inside the sub function of GCD, they are printing it at another. Which one is the greatest of three? MacBook. I have MacBook Pro M4. MacBook Pro M4. Yes. There's another laptop, Linux Ubuntu is installed. That is pretty old. I guess 10 to 11 years old, but it's still running because it has 2 TB hard disk and i5, and I guess the main operating system is running on 512 GB SSD. So beast laptop. Although it is 10 years old, but it's still beast. It will be because 2 TB hard disk and 8 GB RAM and 8 GB. I have hardware installation I have done. I added on myself. I think NVRAM I have used. Which RAM I don't know exactly, but 8 GB RAM is installed by me later. Uh, 16 GB RAM, 2 TB hard disk, 512 SSD, i5. It is also goated. Mac is also good. Mac is also good, but not for because it not I cannot run that, you can say, but I can not run Linux on virtual machine inside my MacBook. So I used it for simple daily basis work, including making PPTs, thumbnails, managing my channel and all, making notes, doing some random coding on Python, writing scripts. Yes. Do you want to see the setup? It's pretty messed up. Do you want to see the setup? Okay, so no need to do this program because was just what we are doing. We are printing using the printf outside in our main function. So just we are storing this inside a result and just printing. No need to do this. Just a fancy program. But the concept what we are learning is returning the function result. So we can return the function and store it in a result and print that result. For watching now. Nice. So after the value of the greatest common advisor. Bro, I am fresher, web dev. I did a bit of JS like basics and made a bank web app. I did HTML, CSS, which is not that much considerable. Tell me I am going good. Should I focus on my studies or what? I am a fresher. Fresher as you are pass out from school or as you are pass out from college. What kind of fresher you are? Please elaborate a little bit. What kind of fresher? Are you just passed out from school, like you have cleared your 10th or 10th class, or you just should I focus on web dev? I'm from Pakistan. Okay, okay, good. If you are from Pakistan, but have you just passed your class, school or inter school, or you have passed your college also? Are you involved in some kind of degree, something, graduation, something? No need to deep dive in this. So you were working on GCD, na? Intermediate computer science. Okay, intermediate. Intermediate is, I think, class 12. Class 12, na? Or class 10. Class 10 is high school. Class 12 is intermediate. Okay, 12th class. So 12th class pass. So are you planning to pursue something like bachelor's degree in computer science or some kind of? Since you are in school, you have just passed 12th. It's pretty good that you have done basics of web dev, because I've seen people in the second, third year of college, they start web dev there. But it's pretty good that you have already started. So you are going good, I guess. You should be focusing, not much focusing on the old technologies like web development, game development, but you should be focusing on new emergent technologies like cloud. You can work on cloud like AI, LLM, machine learning, cybersecurity. That's my subject, cybersecurity. So you should be involved in much emerging fields in computer science. Not, I should not say web dev is old. It's still it's not a school in Pakistan. I completed college. Okay, I completed college. But if you have completed your college, I guess you are age of 20 to 23. So you are, I should say it, you are not going good, because web dev is a pretty basic thing. And if I ignore all the school and degree, if I talk by age, so if you are starting at the, if you have completed web dev till the age of 19, 20, it's good. But if you are 24, it's quite concerning. You should be focusing more on advanced technologies like artificial intelligence and all. And in web dev only, you should be focusing more on the backend development, API management, API security, and all. I hope I answered your question. So GCD we have done. So calculating the absolute value. So okay, so if we have given some kind of negative value, it will be no in Pakistan from 1 to 10 class it's school, 11 to 12 is college. Okay, I'm 19. If you're 19, we let's talk about age. If you are 19, you are good, you are going good. But I will say the same thing. You should be focusing more on your advanced technology that is evolving today, like artificial intelligence, machine learning, cybersecurity, cloud, and some advanced technologies in web development also. Like, I'm not much familiar in web development, but I can suggest you something like API security, API management, API integration, backend and front end management, and databases, and much more. So function to calculate the absolute value, what we are doing now. So let's just create this program, control SQ, and since it is absolute value, we will be storing abs func.c. Okay, let's just copy this program till here. uh, okay, paste selection, absolute value, let's save it as something shorter, abs value, it will be great. So now we need to define the program. So it's pretty simple. If the number is negative, we need to convert it to positive. So in mathematical terms, if a number is negative, so how can you make it positive? You can just add minus. What in cloud to be specific? AWS, Amazon Web Services, Azure, Google, cloud management, cloud data analysis, data analytics in cloud, how cloud management works, how data is stored in cloud, or you can do the field that is emerging in cybersecurity, which is my domain, cloud security, AI security. If I talk specifically about cloud security can be done. If you want to target any specific kind of framework or something, AWS. You can say DevOps or DevSecOps. I should say DevSecOps, development and security operations, not because DevOps is pretty much old. And the main question is that in university they teach very basic, like basic HTML, CSS, JS, C Sharp, etc. Very basic. In BScs, I don't think it is smart to waste 4 years in university, but my parents think. For that, I should suggest you that we are in a transition that I should do these. Yes, you should do, because we are in a transition that we don't know how much AI will be evolved and how much our degree. So we are in a transition phase where degree also depends and skill also depends. So we cannot just depend on one thing, that if I have skill I can conquer the industry, or if I have degree I can conquer this industry. You should have both. You should have a combination of both, because we are moving in a transition, because in which AI is grasping everything and covering every field. So you should be also doing you should be doing degree, because I suggest to do degree, because it just filter out you from the basic crowd. I hope you I hope you I answer your question. So ABSVE. So if x is negative, let's just focus on this program. Then I will take your questions. Okay, so no need to do semicolon. So x should be denoted as minus x, because if x is negative, we put again a minus sign, so it will be converted to positive. So what we will be doing, return x. So since we have passed argument, good suggestion. You can see the suggestion of daylight. You can go, because I'm not much familiar with the web dev thing. Although I know in the backend development, you can go for Node.js. For front end, you can go for TypeScript. TypeScript is much evolving. HTML CSS is a bit old. TypeScript and integration of Tailwind CSS. You can target that. And if you want to learn large language models or AI, you can do Python. Yes, pretty good. System. You can also do a programming language R, if you ever heard about R programming language. You can do that. In cloud, it is much needed. So let's just close this program. We will be writing our main program and main void, passing the void argument, and let's start. So I think they have passed inside float f1, f2, f3. MongoDB SQL, NoSQL also, NoSQL. MongoDB you can do. Postgres, you should be familiar with the Postgres. And if you are targeting DevOps, you should be ready with the industrial tools like Docker and Kubernetes. And ELK also, if you are ever heard about ELK, I should write in the chat. ELK, Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. That is Docker and Kubernetes. These five things are, you know, every company seek that fresher should know now from this should say from 2024. These are the technology that is expected by the company that you should know. So we are taking value float 1 as, let's take a random value 13.78. Yeah, okay. So f2 will be, let's take a positive number since it is a float 9.0. And what number we should take now? So it will be working if x is negative. Since if x is not negative here, so it will not be converted in anything. So let's take f3 as another negative number, 89.0. So now I think for they have also treated int value. They have mentioned a long int value, li, because it is more than 32-bit character. So long int minus, so what they have taken 716, let's take 916. And we'll be storing something in the result. So let's take RE as a float variable. What we will be doing now, we'll be storing the result in the function by passing the argument f1, f2, f3. So our function name is absv. Okay, shift v. Okay, so I have to, I think, paste selection, I have choose shift v as a shortcut. That is why it's making error. Okay, so if I want to pass an argument, let's pass f1, and if I want to print the result, printf, so absolute value. So result will be up to, we need up to 2 decimal places. So result will be like this. So printf absolute value f. So printf. So they have mentioned a statement result is equals to %2f is nothing but 0.2f is like up to 2 decimal places, float value up to 2 decimal places, and with a new line character store it in res. And they have printed another thing. F1 is this f1. They are printing the value of f1 also. Okay, let's print this also. For the sake of example, we will be taking this value only. And what they are doing now, f1 is equals to, they're mentioning the value of f1, and we will be using format specifier with decimal places up to 2 and n our result. Okay, so if you want to ask more questions that I cannot answer in the stream directly, you can just let me just paste my Discord server here. I have just created a Discord server. Give me a minute. I have not added in the, I think I have not given the link of the Discord server in YouTube or something. Okay. Vyadh server. White people, copy. for general kind of interaction or something. If you want to ask questions, or I give resources for some kind of related to cybersecurity, or if you want resources of something, you can ask, or you can ping me in the server. You can join the Discord. So printf I have done, this I have done. Okay, what we need to do now, since it is a int function, we need to pass an argument as, okay, nice, uh, return 0. Anything left? So they have taken different examples, they have added the numbers, and also you can see they have doing the arithmetic of the functions. So taking the function, passing the argument, adding, taking the function again, passing the argument f3. So you can do like this. You can do typecasting. So since it is an int, long int, and they have changed it to float, so the value will be something like 716.0. Oh, okay. So since it is a 2 decimal places, so it's 716.00. Let's try to run our program here. Okay. We have ABS function. Okay, so GCC ABS function output will be returned to ABS function. Okay. So res. Okay, so we have used result. That is why it is making a problem. Anything else? Okay, there. Okay, not that much errors. Okay, I have used res here and like a result here. That is why it's making error. Res and semicolon here. Control SQ. Try to compile this. It's saying the same thing. Okay. I think I've done there also. Any more errors if there exist? Okay, it should be working now. Okay, it is showing 2 more errors still. It's showing in RE. Okay, I have not put the comma. Nice, I have made pretty much errors. They should not be. Okay, it's showing the errors again. Okay, it should be IL. Control S. F3. Since it is a float value, minus 8, 9, it should be working. Have I done anything wrong? Since it is an int function, IL, long int, okay. What's the specific error it is targeting? Okay, it's working now. ABS. Nice. So result is 13.78 and F1 value of F1 is 13.78. No, it should not be 13.78. It should be minus 13.78. Why it has typecasted it and converted into a positive value? I have just set to print it. Hi. Hi Sajid. Hi. Welcome to the stream. Hi Sajid. Welcome to the stream. What's the problem with this? So int main void float f1 minus 13.78, 9.2, and we are just printing the value of f1. Why it is returning like that? Let's just try to run it again. So result is all right because we have Aditya Gorpade. Hi brother. Hi Aditya. So it has converted f1. The result is saved here. It's all right. But why it is converting it to a positive value? F1 is 13.78. Okay. The problem is we are passing the RES. We have to pass F1, Control SQ. It should be working now. Let's just try to compile it first. GCC ABS tab, writing the output to the ABS function, hit enter. Now we'll be running this, hit enter. So yeah, it is working now. A pretty basic program. We are just converting a positive number to negative and just leaving the positive number to positive. So we are making printing absolute value, calculating absolute value, you can say. So much theory here. Is it something important? Anything important here? Have they taken any specific case? They have taken a case of typecasting. They have converted a type of long into float. So the value will be 716.0.0. Any doubts? I saw the chart moving. Uh, let's take a quick water break. I'll be returning soon. 1 minute approx. Question. I have to stop my water break. Why aren't you using ChatGPT? For what? For what I have to use ChatGPT? Tell me specifically. Why aren't you using ChatGPT? Good question. For what purpose I have to use? You should suggest na. I am completely treat me as a complete beginner and tell me why should I use ChatGPT? Good question. For everything. Because the reason is we are learning C in order to make exploits. So I think there are 7 people watching. Yesterday was the less watching. So let me show you why we are learning C programming and what ChatGPT cannot do. Uh, have I that book? I have to crawl into the system. Let me just uh, off the screen for a little bit. Let me just find the file once and I will show you something. Open folder. Where it was in downloads. It's black at bash. Okay, I have found it. Okay. So, hi sir, I just saw your live. Can you give a summary of whole course? Okay, please wait a minute. I am showing something. Okay, pretty good. Okay, so it is hacking the art of exploitation by John Erickson. So what this book has, it has make custom exploits in order to exploit a system. So I'm repeating this again and again. So you know that all the operating systems are the foundation of all the operating system is built in C programming. So why is it important? Still important to learn C programming and assembly both. I am targeting both assembly also like ARM and base 64 both assembly languages. Why I am insisting again and again. So if you see, let me just directly jump to not programming exploitation buffer overflow. Let's take a class example of buffer overflow. So this cannot be created by ChatGPT. Is it visible to you? I will be not explaining this because it's quite upper level. It's not for intermediate, not for pro. It's upper something above because you should be having a knowledge of memory management, memory allocation, how operating system works, how C programming works, how assembly works, how pointers work. So this is a basic program of buffer overflow. Those who don't know buffer overflow, you can read it. I will not be explaining today, but we are doing C programming for basics and not using ChatGPT because we want to know each and every aspect of C programming, how a small thing or small change in a program or alteration in a program can exploit the system. So all the system files that you see in Windows are made in C. So somehow if you have access or get access to that files, you can alter that and exploit the system or corrupt the system in a good way when you want to test something. I'm not insisting or teaching you that you should be exploiting a system without any permission. We are ethical hackers and we should have permission first, then we can test the system. So I hope I have given the your answer, and I have given the answer for the two questions. So what's the summary of the course? So we have started the C programming from the very basics, and the motive of starting the C programming is to learn the very basic programming that is responsible for the running of each and every operating system that you use. We'll be doing assembly also, but later. This book will be covered later because it is much advanced. So let's just get back to where we were. This is pretty basic that we are doing now. It's pretty basic. I have given a teaser for something that you will be doing later. So you should be familiar with each and everything because arrays, pointers, function definitions, structures, all the types of data structures in C programming will be used later on, especially pointers and memory allocation and writing large programs, documenting your program. This will be used. So function calling. Okay, again and again. So I think we are on recursion. Yes, we are on recursion. So with calculators as commonplace as watches, it's usually no big deal to find the square root of a particular number. Okay, should the need arise. So, but years ago, students were taught manual techniques. Thank you, Aditya. Thank you. So this channel basically the name Vyadh. So the motive of starting, if you just go through the my first and second stream, you will be seeing that it is much advanced. I should not say it is advanced teams for someone in cybersecurity and doing basic capture the flags and solving machines and solving war games. But if you if you see my previous videos, it was a bit advanced. But on the suggestion, on the feedback of or when I have started the channel, I've got the feedback that I should be starting from basics. So that is why I have first covered the Linux shell scripting in around 6 to 7 parts. Then I have started C programming, and today is our fifth part. I think 10 parts we will be taking in C programming more, 1 week more to complete C programming. So one such approximation method that lends itself most readily to solution by a computer is known as Newton-Raphson iteration technique. Iteration can be something meant as again and again at a particular interval of time. So in program 8.8, you write a square root function. So this is the program 8.8, I guess. Can we just directly jump to the program? Let's study first the Newton-Raphson technique. So Newton-Raphson method can be easily described as follow. You can begin by selecting a guess at the square root of the number, and you are saying that for why you are not using ChatGPT. We will be soon not using ChatGPT, but we will be doing something with AI. Something crazy with AI. So the closer that this guess is to the actual square root, the fewer the number of calculation that have to be performed to arrive at the square root. Okay. So let's just epsilon and more of mathematics talks. So let's just directly jump to the procedure or the algorithm behind this. So the procedure can be explained in terms of an algorithm. Step one is the set of value of guess to one. Okay. So this method is used to compute the value of square root of x. Okay. So those who don't know what is square root, so square root of 4 is 2. Simple. Okay. So step one is the set the value of guess to 1. Okay. If guess square minus x is smaller than epsilon. Epsilon, what's the value of epsilon? I forgot. Uh, Epsilon. There was a specific value of epsilon, I guess. Epsilon value 2.96 something or 6 point. Okay. In Coulomb square, Newton minus meter minus 2. It's okay. They are talking permittivity of space. I think it has in mathematics. We want to know the value of epsilon. They have gone in physics. So I think there's no okay. Yes, I was telling the same thing. 2.22 into 10 to the power minus 116 minus 16. Okay. So let's just get back to where were we? Okay. So proceed to step 4. The guess is approximately of the square root. Okay, so set the value of guess to x by guess plus guess, divide by 2, and return to step 2. Okay, let's just directly see the program and try to interpret what we are doing. So it is necessary to test the absolute difference of guess square and x against epsilon in step 2, because the value of guess can approach the square root of x from either side, because square root, you can say, like 4 square root of 4, both it can both be plus 2 and minus 2. Okay, so because the square of 2 is 4 and square of minus 2 is also 4, so it can be computing from uh, you know uh, it can go behind the line of behind the number line, like in the negative. So now that we have an algorithm, let's find the square root. So for that, you can use a standard library, I guess, in C programming, standard library for square root. Goodbye, good to hear that. Back then I also used to do. I to write my own scripts for hacking games. If have you ever heard about Lucky Patcher? OG Lucky Patcher. Now it is not in use. Have you ever heard about Lucky Patcher? So okay. Let's just copy this till here. So this is the program, basic program to calculate the absolute value. We have seen it before. So let's create a program. Nice. microsq.c. Okay, so yep, who haven't lol. Function to compute the square root of a number. Okay, so now we will be doing square root of a number. Epsilon is already defined as 0. Okay, 0.0001. Float guess is set to 1. No problem. Okay, so let's create a program. So since it will be dealing with float values, and here they have not defined anything, I guess. Yes, there is error with the brackets. So it will not be void this time, it will be float, because we are dealing with float values. Why? Okay. So now what we will be doing, we will be writing our main program, which is square root, and passing a argument float x, and let's start the program. Now we'll be since we have discussed const is a way of defining or fixing the value of a variable throughout the program. So we'll be using const float data type, and we are defining epsilon, since we need to fix the value of this, and we cannot change, we cannot alter this. So let's, how many zeros they have put here, 00001. Okay, next variable they have taken is guess, and they had set to it 1.0. Nice, what I have done. Use indentation, it looks pretty. Ah, we are not doing Python, we are doing C. Indentation doesn't matter, although it looks pretty, but who cares? And I am in hacking and cybersecurity. Yeah. I don't like things pretty. I like things messed up. So what we are doing, we will be using the algorithm here, this thing, and first we should be taking a case. Okay, so it should be greater than epsilon. Okay, it should be greater than epsilon. So we'll be using the same thing and calculate this while absolute value. Okay, so absolute value we have defined here. We can do like ABSV for the sake of simplicity. We'll be running a loop, while loop. In the bracket, we'll be mentioning a condition here. We'll be using the same condition that is mentioned in the algorithm. Nice. Okay, I have to write capital V. Okay, ABSV. So now what we need to do? We need to multiply it with guess multiply by guess minus x. That is the number that we will be providing. And so guess and multiply the, what was the algorithm? So guess plus guess 2. Okay, so let's just see it here. What's the concept of writing? So guess into guess minus x. So firstly, will guess square will be calculated like this and minus x. So guess multiply by guess. Nice, 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 nice. Guess multiply by guess. Uh, Perfect. And we will be subtracting the value of x from itself, and we are checking whether it is greater than or equals to epsilon or not. In the previous algorithm, they have just taken a case of greater than, but here they are taking the case of equals to also. Pretty good. Hmm. I think extra bracket is there. So ABS, we are calculating the value of absolute guess minus x, and we'll be using epsilon now. We can use E also, but no problem. So brackets are covered, I guess. ABS, ABS, epsilon, epsilon. Okay. So what was the next step? Okay. Now we need to calculate the step 3, that is this, and return to step 2. Okay. So if the condition is true, this will be uh, this will be calculated. So guess is equals to x divided by guess plus guess. So first this will be calculated, x divided by guess. Then we will be adding guess to it. Guess is set to 1. Okay. No problem. Then we will be dividing this whole thing with our float 2 and terminating with semicolon. And what we are doing, we are returning to step 2. So we are returning to guess, return to guess. Okay, it should be working now. Okay, so we have, in this we have defined two functions. First for the absolute value, and we are neglecting the case of negative. So because the square root of negative, it's complex numbers, so iota will be there, so it will be a different case. So we are first converting the negative number to positive number, then we are calculating the square root. So this was the case of doing the number to positive, then this is the case of doing the number to uh, doing the square root. So logic of square root is written here. So now we will be dealing with our main function, that is int main, passing the argument void or passing the argument float. Okay, we are passing the argument void. So we'll be dealing with only one value. Let's print f and writing a basic statement, square root of percent I, or okay, so we have to mention okay, okay, no problem. We have to mention they have particularly mentioned 2.0 because there are no variable or no int is defined previously. We are just directly taking the argument inside the function, so we can write directly like square root of 2.0 because we are dealing with float is equals to format specifier percent f. Should we take lf? Okay, we have defined float, we will take f only, n. Okay, like this. Okay, brackets, brackets, brackets. This is the thing I hate about micro text editor. Okay, so now we will be specifying our function square, what we have taken as sqr root. Okay, sqr root, and for the number we want to calculate the square root is like this. So the bracket should be closed now. Okay, it's calculated, computed, and returning the system state to 0. Return 0. I think the program is complete now. This is a way of doing the positive number, then calculating the square root, printing the value. Is there something wrong? Okay, okay, completely fine. This is the logic. You should not be worry about this, how it is done. Algorithm is mentioned. Okay, so we just need to see the working, how the working of program is made. So let's control sq, compile is sq.c to output to sq, hit enter. Okay, no problems. The square root of 2 is 1. I think they are It should be 1.414216, but they are giving me a, they're typecasting the value to int, then they are converting it to float. It should be 1.41. Are there any chats? C greater than Python. Hey, what is the actual teaching? Okay, sorry for not answering the doubts. C greater than ah, good, nice. Python, all the libraries of Python are written in C, but I should not say C greater than Python because Python is the reason for AI that is taking our job. What is he actually teaching? I'm not teaching something. I'm just studying with you guys C programming for. I mean, what exact purpose is he teaching? Okay, so I am teaching C programming for cybersecurity. So why I am writing, because this can be done chat GPT in seconds, but why I'm writing this again and again, why I'm explaining a small bit, because I'm in cybersecurity. I'm telling this for the 100th time in the stream that I'm in cybersecurity and we are learning C programming for basics because we want to build our own exploits in order to exploit a particular system, since most of the operating systems are foundationally written in C programming, and it can be exploited easily. Just just this. No any other motive. So we need to debug this, why it is printing 1.0.0. It should be doing like, so micro, what was the name of program? sq.c. I hope I answered all the questions. C is greater than Python. Yeah, good, good point. So let's just see how my program is different from this. What's the error I have made? Mm, float gas, epsilon. Okay, pretty good. While gas. Can you actually give a bit overview of why we are, so you want to know the reason why we are learning C programming? Let me just drink a sip of water first. Just elaborate your doubt, then I will be answering it. You can also ask if there are any other doubts regarding the session or outside the session. You can ask anything. Okay, I got your doubt. So you are asking me why we are learning C from that much basic in the era of artificial intelligence. So yes, ChatGPT can do these things. Previously, also student has asked me, viewer has asked me that why you are not using ChatGPT. We can use ChatGPT. It is these codes are pretty basic and everyone should know it. And ChatGPT will solve it in 1 to 2 seconds, hardly 1 to 2 seconds. So the reason of learning the C program or teaching the C programming from basics, and from each and why we are targeting each and every, why we are just concentrating on each and every keyword that we are using, because we should know the basics, because C programming is the foundational programming language of each and every operating system that you are using. Like for which type of hacking or exploit we can use this. What's the usage? Okay, so the usage is we will be learning C and assembly both, and we will be combining that, and we will be doing after that, after the sessions completing the C programming, we will be going to exploit, malware analysis, malware development, exploit development, basically all the branches of red teaming. But particularly first we are doing penetration testing in order to, if you have the permission of a system to test, so you can either test or find exploits, or you can make your own exploits to, to malfunction the system. So what kind of exploits I will be targeting? Like buffer overflow, memory indentation, memory segmentation error, and cipher. If you have ever heard about cryptography or something, we will be decrypting the, if you want to decrypt the passwords, we will be making cryptographic scripts in C programming. Not wholly for, we are not only we are using C programming for exploitation, but we are also doing it for something meaningful, in order to exploit the passwords, in order to decrypt the passwords. I hope I have answered your question. Have I? What's the schedule for this course? Schedule, as of, we do stream daily after 8. It can be 9, sometime it can be 10, depending on the time, the availability I have. But we have daily streams. If I am not streaming someday, I will be doing two streams, one in the afternoon, one in the night. Should I show you a teaser, quick teaser? I have already shown. So this is a book, and we were also starting of the session. We were, buffer over. We are exploiting a vulnerability known as buffer overflow vulnerability. So it has been around as it is. This exists in each and every system till now, but it is controlled. You can say controlled, but you can see how you can exploit it. It is a basic script, but we will be doing some. We'll be playing with some memory allocation and all. I cannot tell directly what we are doing because it will take time. We want to complete our session. We want to shift our focus here, but for doing this, you should be familiar with the cryptography, number system, and internal files, operating systems, and all. So I cannot directly start this. Okay, so we were finding the square root of 2.0, and the answer is 1.000. So let's do one thing. Is it work? It will work now, I guess. Control SQ. Oh, nice. We'll love to watch every video of this course. Okay, fine. So after this course, after completing the C programming, we will be shifting our focus more towards penetration testing. We will not be going directly to cryptography and all. So first phase of penetration testing will be the if you have ever heard about the term of footprinting and reconnaissance. So it is basically the first initial stage of information gathering, first stage of penetration testing, that is information gathering. So we'll be working with industrial tools, such as we will be first learning the DNS servers, domain name service, how server work, how network work, how website work. Then we will be learning how to extract the information of websites, domain names, how subdomain works, what is the IP address, how to run scans on IP address, how to see the vulnerabilities, nmap scanning, if you have ever heard about, and a web what we can say, a web browser, Shodan, if you ever heard about. Tools such as Meltego, DNS enumerator, who is domain, who is lookup, and Wayback Machine, much more. So we'll be shifting, after the C programming, we'll be shifting our focus to footprinting and reconnaissance. We will be doing OSINT, open source intelligence, that is much used in cyber forensics. Basically each and every aspect of information gathering, how much information we can gather. Okay, so let's move. Okay, we are doing the program. Let's try to run this AVS function. Okay, I was dealing with this SQC, I guess. uh where is that SQC? Okay, it is still returning 1. I think this program is not working. No okay, so prerequisite of this course, so you should be downloading, you should know how to download Linux. I have not covered the installation part, and everything I have covered that from basic. You should I have, in the community post, you can check, I have given the articles of how you can install a basic Linux operating system in your system. You can use, if you have Windows, you can use Windows subsystem for Linux, that is WSL, or you can simply use a virtual box, or you can say virtual machine. In virtual machine there exists two application, VMware Workstation and VirtualBox, and in that you can download a ISO file either of Ubuntu. You can use CentOS, Basic OS, or Basic Linux operating system, because it is mostly terminal based, no GUI is there. I have Linux as virtual machine. No, yes, you can do that. No prerequisites required, because everything is covered is from basics. If if you have any problem, you can just comment or ask in the Discord server. I think I have given a link of the Discord server above. You can join and ask the question there. I don't know if I have, because I also forgot. There can be a possibility I have discussed something a bit higher level, in which you need to know something, but you can start. You just need to start first. If you have any question, you can ping me in the Discord server. You can ask in the comments, in the community post, everywhere. You can ask anywhere. So let's just debug this program first. Micro sq.c float absv float x is greater than, okay. Oh, where's the program? Okay, here's the program. Return x, return x. So what it is doing, it is returning this as 1.0.0. So after calculating the all this, it is returning as 1.0 and return guess. Okay, so answer is same in all the scenarios. I think I have got the thing. The position of the bracket is wrong. Now it's all right, I guess. Let's save and compile this. Try to run this. Okay, the square root of 144 is 12.0.0. Okay, it's working. Let's move. Let's quickly shift our focus to next topic. How much is left in the function? So declaration, return type, argument types, then checking function argument, top-down programming, function and array. Okay, so I think we are summarizing all the things in function, how all the things can be applied in function. Array is the last topic, I guess. Assignment operators, pretty big chapter. Multidimensional array. I think this is the last topic, multidimensional array. Working with matrices, global variables. I think structures will not be covered today. Functions is a bit uh, long chapter. Recursive function, okay. Only functions will be covered. So we'll be increasing our pace a little bit. We have to cover this thing. And what's the duration of the session? It's already 1.5 hours. Okay. Where were we? Top-down programming is a bit. Function calling, we have seen this, pretty basic. Okay, so declaring return type and argument. So as mentioned previously, okay, I will give you the book link later. After finishing of the stream, I will give you the book link of that Linux. So as mentioned previously, I will also tell you the method of how to download these books online for free. By, if you ever heard about Google dorking, Google dorking will be also covered in the footprint and reconnaissance part, the first phase of penetration testing. So declaring return type and argument types, as mentioned previously, the C compiler assumes that a function returns a value type int as a default case. So more specifically, when a call is made to a function, the compiler assumes that the function returns a value of type int unless either of the following has occurred. Because I think I cannot directly share you the book due to copyright reasons. But let's see how I can help. So when a call is made to a function, the compiler assumes that the function returns a value of type int unless either of the following has occurred. So the function has been defined in the program before the function call is encountered. The value returned by the function has been declared before the function call is encountered. Okay, so in program 8.8, the absolute value we have seen. The function is defined before the compiler encounters a call to this function. Okay, square root function is also compiled before, so the compiler knows therefore that when the call is encountered, so the absolute function will return a value of type float. Had the absolute value function have been, let's just open that program. Okay, you have seen that because since we need to use this absolute function inside another program, we need to declare it before so that compiler know that this exists. And yeah, we have used this abs absolute value inside this another function defined by us, and we have used this final function to calculate the square root in our main program, that is int main void, and we have used that. So this is what it is written here. So to be able to define the absolute value function after the square root function, or even in another file, see chapter 15. Okay, we'll be doing that. So you must declare the type of result returned by the absolute value function before the function is called. Okay, so here we need to return the type of type that we are using in the function. So here we have used x, so that we have used return x here, and in this we are working with the float variable guess, so we are returning to guess. So not only in the function declaration used to declare the function's return type, but it is also used to tell the compiler how many arguments the function takes and what their types are. Okay, so this is a bit advantage of why we are declaring the function before using it in our main function. So declare absolute value as a function, because if we do vice versa, it will show error because it will not be known, the compiler not know what is ABSV if we don't define it before. So to declare the absolute value as a function, okay, that returns a value type float, and that takes a single argument also. Why we have not used void here? Because we want that value to be stored as float, it will be treated as float. Similarly here we need that guess, this guess keyword should be the whole program. When give the output, it should be treated as float, not void. So I am also learning with you on live stream. I am also learning with you. But after even learning with you, but I am also explaining each and everything why we are doing this. So you can say they can be both ways. So and I can also if you ask any question, I will answer that. I will address that. If I cannot address that, are you in college or job? Let's not go there, yeah. Let's just stick to the session. So to declare the absolute value as a function that returns a value of type float and that takes a single argument. Okay, so we have done this. So why we have used float? Okay, so because we have declared a variable x inside this. So if you like directly write float here, you need to define the variable float x again. So it's good to write x here only. So as you can see how you just have to specify the argument type inside the parenthesis and not its name. You can optionally specify a dummy name after the type if you want, like this. If you don't want to declare the variable again after completing the naming of the function, you can just directly name the variable in the argument. So this name doesn't have to be the same as one of used in the function definition. Okay, so the name should be different. Footproof way to write a function declaration is to simply use your text editor to make the copy of first line from the actual definition of the function. Okay, so we should copy this like this, and you can use it later on. So and remember to place a semicolon at the end, like where we have used like this, or we have seen in the previous program where we are calling the function, we just end it with a semicolon, because you can see like printf is also a function, but it is already known to C compiler, and the history, the not I cannot say history, but the working of the printf function is written in the header file include stdio.h. So every function need to be interrupted with semicolon, so that the compiler, the GCC compiler, know that I should stop executing after this line. Okay, so remember to place a semicolon at the end. Okay, if the function doesn't take an argument, use the keyword void between the parentheses. If the function doesn't return a value, this fact can also be declared to thwart any attempts at using the function as it does. Okay, so like we have done in the triangular number, we have also mentioned like in 10, I guess light is gone. No problem. Will it affect the stream? No, it will not. So Hmm. So if the function takes a variable number of an argument, such as in the case with printf and scanf, the compiler must be informed. So the declaration is like int, printf, character, and we will use pointer. We will discuss it later. So it tells the compiler that printf takes a character pointer as its first argument, more on the later, and is followed by number of additional argument and the use of the dot dot dot. Okay. So we will be seeing the use of pointer later in the chapter, I guess 13th chapter, and the concept of pointer is important to us. So this is why you have been placing the following line at the start of the each program, like stdio.h. So the definition of printf and scanf are declared in the special file known as stdio.h, or you can say it as header file. So without this line, the compiler can assume printf and scanf takes a fixed number of arguments, and which could result in incorrect code being generated. So in this printf, in the standard input output header file, it is already mentioned how the arguments will be working in the printf, and you have seen the dot dot, it is mentioned like you can use many arguments. Like the first argument is the statement that we are printing, the second argument is the variable that we want to print. So if he doesn't mention the this header file, so printf will only take one argument, and it will not, the C programming, the C language will not, the compiler, or I should say the compiler will not take the printf to take the single argument. It will be if we mention the stdio.h, it will be treating the printf as a standard function that is defined in C, and we can work with multiple arguments, so which could result in incorrect code being generated. Okay, so the compiler automatically converts your argument to the appropriate type when a function is called. So but if you have placed the function definition, or have declared the function and its argument type before the call, here are some reminders and suggestion about the function. So these are the 5 points that you can just uh, save in your mind that you should be using when working with functions. So remember that by default the compiler assumes that a function returns as int. Okay. For that, like here we have mentioned float, so if you do not mention anything, so the default will be int. So when defining a function that returns an int, define it as such. Okay, so when defining disconnected obvious studio, why has the stream lagged? Am I connected back or not? Okay, is the sound all right? Can you tell someone, if you have joined the session, can you tell in the chat if the sound, video, webcam is working fine or not, so I can resume? Okay, it's working fine. uh so where were we? Int we have covered in void. Okay, so the compiler converts your argument to agree with once the function expects only if you have previously defined or declared the function. Okay, so it will be converting the argument. Okay, so it will be converting the argument uh, when you are mentioning something in the function, like this is the argument you are mentioning something, so compiler treat it as an argument when you define a function. So if you directly write this argument, it will not be treated by C compiler as an argument. So to play it safe, declare all the function in your programs, even if they are defined before they are called. So you might decide later to move. Okay, so before, because in a way of writing a constructive program, you should declare each and every function you will be using in the program. So before calling the any function, because it will be, so that GCC compiler go line by line. So before using any before defining that, and later you are defining the function, it will show you error. So first what you need to do, you need to write the algorithm of the program. You will write all the functions that will be needed in the program. You will declare one by one, then write a main program from int main void and use all the functions. I hope you understand. So checking function arguments. So the square root of a negative number takes you away from the realm of real numbers, and I've already told it will be dealt by the imaginary numbers iota. So what happens if you pass a negative number to the square root function? The fact is the Newton-Raphson process would never converge. What is the value of the guess would not get closer to the correct value of the square root with each iteration of the loop. So therefore the criteria set up the termination of while loop would never be satisfied. Okay, so while loop will never be running, and the program would enter an infinite loop. Execution of the program would have to be abnormally terminated by typing in some command or pressing a special key Control plus C in the terminal to terminate the program. So I think they have, yes, the following is a modified square root function which tests the value of the argument, which also include a prototype declaration, okay, of the value as described in the previous section. Mm, So they are dealing with the errors, I guess. In this, they are not defining or converting anything. They have written that if the number is negative, return as this. If the number is not negative, if it is positive, run the while loop. So it is running like this. So instead of converting the value, it is more convenient, because sometimes by mistake user has written a negative number. So not to show any prompt, directly just uh, you know convert the number to positive and calculate the square root. So the motive of this program is to, if someone accidentally written a negative number, so it will generally what it will be printing a negative argument to square root. It will be giving a prompt that you have printed a negative number, and if it is a positive number, it will be directly going to while loop and perform the same thing that we have done here. If negative argument is passed to preceding function, an appropriate message displayed, this message will be displayed, and the value minus 1.0 is immediately returned to the calling routine if the argument is non-negative, and the calculation of square root proceed as previously described. I think there is a power cut and my Wi-Fi is switched off, and I think I am connected to, okay, my mobile phone. Uh, Sorry for the interruption. I think I have to end the stream. Mm, What can we do? What can we do? How much is left? A lot of, because I have planned today functions and structures, but we have covered functions and a small portion only. So the problem is with the internet, and you can see the internet speed is slow, so the CPU management spikes. I think I have to end the stream today. Yeah, fuck. Because two systems are running on the same, on my mobile hotspot. Yeah, with a lot left. Top down programming function arrays. I think I have to continue the session tomorrow. Yeah. uh, s- just wait for a moment. I think we have to end the stream now because there's a power cut and my router got switched off. I don't know why. It is connected to inverter, but why my router switched off? I've just noticed that my system is connected to my mobile hotspot, and you have seen a prompt in middle of the stream that OBS Studio is reconnecting. What we will do, we will quickly wind up the stream now for today because my Wi-Fi is not working. I have to quickly see why it is not working. So what we will be doing, we will be having a session in afternoon tomorrow. We'll be either have a long session tomorrow in the afternoon or have two sessions, one in the evening, one in the afternoon. In order to compensate this, let me just see what happens. Or if it is, if it will the router will work, I will be coming back with the stream again. So sorry for the inconvenience, but I can't do anything because my mobile data is limited and I have to run the two systems simultaneously. Bye bye all. Sorry for the ending the stream so soon today. Bye.